Well, good evening, everyone. I think that deserves a round of applause just for... For the 20 years of Digital Preservation Awards winners, many of whom are here tonight. So a very warm welcome to you all. My name is William Kilbride. I have the honour, the pleasure of being the director of the Digital Preservation Coalition, and it's our pleasure to host this event. And in a moment, I'll hand on to others who will get things underway properly. But for me, just as we start, a word of welcome, but also a word of encouragement. Oftentimes in formal events like this, you get told at the start to put your mobile phone away. I have the opposite idea in mind, and here's why. Get your mobile phones out. The DPC organises, and has done now for 20 years, the Digital Preservation Awards in order to celebrate outstanding work, outstanding, generous, creative work, which is shared with us generously by our peers around the world. They deserve our recognition, they deserve our celebration and our thanks, and that's what we do tonight. I want to make sure that everyone who's listed tonight wakes in the morning to a huge pile of email, of mentions, of other correspondence from their peers around the world, because if we lift these boats, we lift all of our boats together. This is a significant moment for the digital preservation community, and it's a significant moment of advocacy where we thank and congratulate those who work so hard to support us. Put another way, if we don't do that, who will? So my encouragement to you is to tweet, to skeet, to do whatever it is that people do on LinkedIn, and make sure that those comments and those praise and those thanks are clearly articulated. So that's my purpose, to get us underway and to get the stage set. I will very quickly now, though, hand on to Quincy Oyen of the co-organising committee for iPres 2024 here in this beautiful city of Ghent. So maybe invite Quincy forward to welcome us properly to this outstanding venue.
Hi, good evening. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to Ghent. I'm standing here today wearing several hats. Digital Archives Flanders is one of the 4 organizers of this iPres edition, and we are a board member of DPC. It is in this latter capacity that I'll welcome you to the Digital Preservation Awards ceremony. I am delighted to see so many of you here as we come together to celebrate excellence in digital preservation. For those who participated in the workshops earlier today, I hope you've already gained valuable insights and exchanged meaningful ideas that will continue to inspire us all. While not directly associated with iPres, the DPC is a great friend and supporter of the conference, and the Digital Preservation Awards fit well into the conference program here. I hope that you will also learn a lot from the finalists and the winners you'll meet here today. They have put themselves forward to share their innovative, creative, and thought-provoking ideas, and I challenge you not to be inspired by their work. Enjoy the evening, and let's make some memories worth preserving. Before I leave the stage, I invite Kate Murray, as Vice Chair of the DPC, to say a few words of welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kate Murray from the Library of Congress, but this evening I'm here in my capacity as Vice Chair of the DPC Executive Board. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the Digital Preservation Awards. Many of you are well aware of the work of the DPC already. It's truly a membership-driven organization that focuses on advocacy, community engagement, workforce development, good practice, and good governance. One thing that the DPC does so well, in my opinion, is capacity building. Whether you want to learn new skills through novice to know-how free online training, or catch up on trends in a TechWatch report, or discuss questions or workflows in a special interest group or informal weekly chat session, the DPC has a place for you. Its recent expansion of the DPC Americas office is such an exciting development because it means more options with a local focus, but even better, in a convenient time zone for those of us who are a few hours behind UTC. This award program is one of my favorites one of my favorites initiatives that the DPC puts together because it reflects capacity building as it shines a light on the spectrum of digital preservation programs, but more importantly, on the people who initiate, lead, perform, share, evaluate, and advocate for this important work. The award nominees cross the spectrum of our diverse communities. When we at the Library of Congress put out an internal call to our staff to decide how we should cast our ballot, we got back a myriad of responses because we were spoiled for choice. Whether your interest is in video games, or endangered languages, or First Nation memories, or risk assessment, or skill building, or beer, just to name a few. I voted for beer, but you can see yourself represented in and excited by these powerful and innovative nominees. This made a tough job for the person who actually had to collate these responses and cast our ballot, but it was really lovely to see not only the staff engagement and ownership in the process, because the digital preservation community is not just those of us here in this room tonight or online, but rather all of us with a stake in how to make digital preservation more achievable for more people. The old saying is true, we are all winners here. And iPrez is the perfect host for these awards. I was discussing with colleagues recently how iPrez participation has exploded in recent years. Not so long ago, I considered iPrez to be a bit of a closed circle for senior leaderships in our profession. But now it's widely considered to be the central hub for digital preservation with its welcoming and supportive environment alongside serious scholarship and research. This is where important discussions happen, where new ideas are born, collaborations fostered, friends made, and where we celebrate all of these accomplishments. So welcome to a joyful night to kick off iPrez. And now I invite Roxana Mar, the chair of the Digital Preservation Award Judges, to say a few words of welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Roxana Maurer from the National Library of Luxembourg, but tonight I'm here in my capacity as chair of the judges for this 11th round of the Digital Preservation Awards. As many of you might already know, there are 6 awards waiting for their rightful winners this evening. We have the International Council on Archives Award for Collaboration and Cooperation, the Digital Repository of Ireland Award for Research and Innovation, the Dutch Digital Heritage Network Award for Teaching and Communications, the CLOCKS Award for the Most Distinguished Student Work, the Research Data Alliance Award for the Most Outstanding Digital Preservation Initiative in Commerce, Industry, and Third Sector, and the National Archives UK Award for Safeguarding the Digital Legacy. Last, but by no means least, we'll also be awarding the DPC Fellowship this evening in order to recognize an outstanding personal contribution to digital preservation. The DPC Digital Preservation Awards exist to raise awareness, as William and Kate already mentioned, about the important work being done in our field and to celebrate those achievements which are too often overlooked. As the Digital Preservation Awards are presented on a 2-yearly basis, we are celebrating tonight the last 2 years of our community's work to ensure our digital memory is secured for future generations. The prizes consist of a trophy, which you can see here on the table next to me, a cash prize, and a frame certificate. Tonight, or depending where you are watching this online this morning or this afternoon, we are celebrating all of the finalists. The very fact that they were selected as finalists from a much larger group of applicants is already a huge recognition of their work and should be considered a great achievement. As such, I would like to add my personal warm welcome and congratulations to all our finalists joining us in person or online, to their colleagues and friends, and to tell them that suspense will be over soon and they will find out who has won. Part of the process of the awards is a DPC member vote, just as Kate was mentioning, and as a result, we will be sharing comments on each of the finalists' work from across the community, a signal of the high regard in which all the nominations are held. Previous winners and finalists have confirmed that the biggest prize is the recognition which the award brings to their work. None of this would be possible without the generous dedication of time and expertise of our panel of judges, many of whom are here tonight and are going to present the awards in a moment. The judging panel is really an awe-inspiring group. We start by reading on our own all the applications, and then we go into the most interesting and lively debates, because as you might have noticed from the list of finalists, all of the projects are really amazing. So it's not always easy to choose a winner. It is the role of the chair to ensure that procedures are followed, that if there are any conflicts of interest, they are handled appropriately, and that applications are judged entirely on their own merits. It is my pleasure as a chair to confirm that that has happened. I would like to also give a big thank you to all our sponsors, many of whom are also represented here tonight. Their generous contributions support the prizes for each of the categories and mean that many of us can be here in Ghent tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us in this celebration, either here in Ghent or online from different parts of the globe. And please do congratulate all of our finalists for their work. Like William was saying, tweet or toot or blog or write them an email or congratulate them in person if you're here at IPRES. And before returning to my seat, please join me in a round of applause, not only for our finalists, but also for the amazing judges who do this in their, on a voluntary basis. I was really afraid I'm gonna mix my words, and of course, just at the end, I managed to do that. So, thank you very much.
Okay, to business. Let's get started. So first up tonight, I want to introduce the award for collaboration and cooperation. So it's my great pleasure to invite Gustavo Castañer, representing the International Council on Archives, and April Miller of the World Bank Group to make our presentation.
Good evening, everybody. It's a true pleasure being here in lovely Ghent. And I'm introducing, together with April, the Award for Collaboration and Cooperation. It celebrates significant collaboration across institutional, professional, sectoral, and geographical boundaries, which have had a demonstrable and positive impact on digital preservation. And we have three amazing finalists for this award. Finalist 1, Collaborative Models of Care, Preserving Australian First Nations Digital Cultural Heritage. This project has sought to provide a best practice blueprint for non-First Nations professionals wanting to contribute the digitization and digital preservation skills, knowledge, and expertise towards the care of digital cultural heritage held by and produced in Australian First Nation communities. Second, we have Kip Agenge, Reimagining Partnerships for Digital Preservation, KO indigenous knowledge for future generations. KU elders and indigenous knowledge holders worry that their generations will soon be gone and important cultural heritage will be lost. This project, which is a collaboration between Gladys Kemboi from Kenya, the University of Illinois, KM4 Development, and the indigenous knowledge holders, has assured Kipegenge that barriers to digital preservation and climate change constraints can be lowered. And last but not least, in any respect, NDSA Staffing Survey Working Group. The National Digital Stewardship Alliance, or NDSA, recently conducted its third staffing survey and published the results in August 2022. Led by a collaborative international volunteer working group, a significant redesign of past surveys was undertaken and applied to gather information about the current state of digital preservation staffing, creating a broader and more detailed picture of our community than ever before. And now for the prize, without further ado, over to April.
Thank you, Gustavo. You can see that the nominations in this category were incredible. The finalists were incredible. Let's give them a round of applause. This was an extremely difficult decision. They were all so excellent and different at the same time. But without further ado, the golden envelope. Oh, get your glasses. Collaborative Models of Care, Preserving Australian First Nations Digital Cultural Heritage.
Thank you so much to everyone who voted for our project. As a digital preservation professional who is not First Nations, but who has been invited to work in this space with First Nations colleagues, communities, and materials, I think it is incredibly important that we find First Nations-led, collaborative, and respectful ways to undertake this work. And I'm so excited everyone else thinks this is important too. A quick but heartfelt thank you to AICCM, the Gordon Darling Foundation, and the Wales Family Foundation for their generous financial support, to the DPC, agency projects, and my wonderful mentor Jo for her ongoing support and encouragement, to the First Nations colleagues, communities that we have worked with thus far, with a particular shout out to Mel from Bulla Bulla for her never-ending enthusiasm. And lastly, the biggest acknowledgement and thanks goes to my partner and First Nations collaborator, Kobe. Your open heart and skill in bringing together people is a huge part of what makes this project so special. And I feel incredibly grateful to work with you in this way. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gustavo and April, for showing us how to do it. Well done. It gives me great pleasure now to move on. We never stop. To introduce the Award for Research and Innovation. And it's a great pleasure to introduce Lisa Griffith of the Digital Repository of Ireland and Arif Sharon of the Qatar National Library. Arif and Lisa.
Hello. It's great. The lights are so bright we can't see how many people are in the audience, so I'm not nervous. So, DEVE, good evening. Arif and I are so excited to make this award, and I'm very proud to make it on behalf of the Digital Repository of Ireland, our members, and our wider community in Ireland. Research and innovation drives our community forward. It recognises the challenges that we face, and it's the people who come forward from our community to solve these problems. And I just think that's amazing. This award recognises excellence in practical research and innovation activities. And it's really wonderful to know that there's so much vibrant research happening in our community right now. These awards were extremely difficult to shortlist, and I think a sign of that is that there were 4 finalists in our category. And I would strongly recommend that you seek out these 4 projects and you learn more about them because they're really doing amazing work. So the first finalist is Digital Archiving, Storage Media Prioritization, Methodology and Tool. This methodology and tool, developed by Archives and Special Collections at the University of Glasgow, provides a simple way to gauge the well-being of various types of computer storage, both contemporary and legacy, with a view to helping archivists make decisions about how best to deploy their limited resources. The second finalist is Disentangling Digital Preservation Risk with CHARM. CHARM is the output of the PhD by Dr. Maureen Pennock and explores and represents the nature and complexity of digital preservation risk in the field's first unified and holistic digital preservation risk reference model. The third finalist is Improving Access to and Sustainability of the Pacific and Regional Archive for Digital Sources in Endangered Cultures, Paradisic. Paradisic holds records from 1,370 small languages, often the only digital instances of records in these languages. The initiative offers to return these records to their source communities where they can inspire the revitalization of oral traditions. The fourth and final finalist is Play It Again, Preserving Australian Video Game History of the 1990s. This project preserves and emulates 50 significant Australian video games from the 1990s, exhibiting 6 historic games and making them playable again for visitors to the Australian Centre for the Moving Image. And before we announce the winner, I'd just like to take a moment out to give all of the finalists a round of applause and say well done on their work.
Okay, now the winner is, let me just open this. By the way, just like the previous category, it was very difficult to decide on a winner, but it was so much fun. We did have fun. Okay, the winner is Paradisic.
Good evening. I'm here tonight to accept this award on behalf of my Paradisic team, particularly on behalf of our director, Nick Thieberger. Just over 20 years ago, Nick, a linguist at the University of Melbourne, and Linda Barwick, an ethnomusicologist at the University of Sydney, established Paradisic so that there was a repository to house research recordings that were collected from the Pacific. Nick continues to push our technological developments toward new and exciting directions that ensure these recordings are better stored, better described, and made more available. Many of these recordings were gathered for specific academic purposes. However, the significance of these recordings extend well beyond academic research. They often capture the oral traditions from regions where there has not been many, if any, recordings made. The records in our archive hold cultural value for the individuals recorded and to their descendants. It's a record of their ancestors. We have a special responsibility to handle these materials with respect and ensure they remain accessible to these communities. So efforts like our research object crate bundling metadata with the archive records and Raspberry Pi's low-powered local web server are just two ways in which Paradisic provide access to interested communities and keeping conforming to the emerging international standards for digital archiving. Thank you so much for this award. Thank you.
So, third on the list tonight, thank you very much to Arif and to Lisa for the presentation. Third on our list tonight is the Dutch Digital Heritage Network Award for Teaching and Communication. And therefore, it's my very great pleasure to introduce Marjolein Steeman of the Dutch Digital Heritage Network and Matt Burgess representing the National and State Libraries of Australasia to make that presentation.
Hi, everybody. Here we go. The Teaching and Communication Award recognizes excellence in outreach, training, and advocacy. There are 3 finalists for this award. The first finalist, Dungeons and Documents. This was a game developed and offered by 3 students at the University College Dublin as part of their digital curation course as a novel and fun way to communicate and translate the field of digital preservation for non-practitioners. The second finalist, Preserving Books for Future Generations. This guide on digital preservation, developed by Clocks, was designed to engage book publishers, academic libraries, and researchers as part of an educational campaign to address the fact that 25% of academic journals and an even greater number of academic books are known to be at risk. The third finalist is the study group Bits and Bots for Building Digital Skills. Recognizing how daunting it can be to delve into the more technical elements of digital preservation, these practitioners who do not have a technical background created a study group to form an open community for digital archivists to learn coding skills, together supporting each other as they do. And now we are about to reveal the winner. As you can imagine, the 3 finalists were each very unique in the way they contributed to our theme. A game with very powerful metaphors to introduce our profession, a guide that appeals to a new audience with a high degree of urgency, and a study group building a bridge to the world of coding in an unconventional and catching way. It took the judges quite a while to get to a decision, and therefore, before we announce the winner, I would like to give you a big applause to congratulate all our nominees.
All right, I'm excited to be able to announce the winner of this category as the study group Bits and Bots for Building Digital Skills.
everyone. So this was very unexpected. So as our study meetings, we didn't prepare anything. But of course, I want to thank some people. So I'm doing this on the top of my head. So if I forget anybody, I apologize in advance. So first of all, I obviously would like to thank the judges and the voters for this huge acknowledgement. Secondly, the Bits and Bots study group members, of course, because without the members, this study group would be just the three of us, and that would be sad, of course. Also, I want to thank Lotte and Francesca, because I told them, like, hey, maybe we should nominate ourselves for this award, and I gave them a lot of work. So I'm sorry, but also thank you. Of course, I want to thank our expert for the expert sessions that they have provided for our study group. And I want to say hi, Mom, because I know you're watching. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We move on, then, not a quiet moment, to our next award this evening, which is the Clocks Award for the most distinguished student work. And therefore, it's a great pleasure to introduce to the stage Dr. Alicia Wise of Clocks, and also Thomas Ledoux of the Bibliothèque Nationale de France.
Good evening, everybody. It's our pleasure to introduce the award for the most distinguished student work, which encourages and recognizes outstanding student work in digital preservation. And we all here are professionals in preserving our shared cultural and intellectual heritage. How exciting to have such promising future colleagues to hand this baton to. Really exciting. There are 4 finalists for this award. The first is assessing the condition of net art using emulation as a service. Nicole Savoy's thesis explores methods for assessing the condition of digital artworks that use the internet as an artistic medium. Using emulation as a service, Nicole shows how conservators can piece together a comprehensive understanding of an artwork's intended performance. The second finalist is Bish Bash Backup, a blog about converting metadata to premise. This blog, created by Alex Habgood as part of his digital curation module at the University College of London, not only documents his learning about preservation metadata, but offers the development of an open source tool to generate premise-compliant metadata. And it's available already for the whole community to use. Finalist 3, preservation of digital records, the case of Wikimedia Mexico. The main goal of Claudia Munuz's work has been to establish digital preservation strategies for Mexican NGOs, taking Wikimedia Mexico as a case study. The judges were impressed that this could also be a guide for many other Mexican NGOs to use and follow. And finalists 4, Web Archives for All, towards equitable access to UK public sector web archives. This study by Nicole Hartland is the first holistic assessment of access and descriptive practices across UK public sector web archives and focuses on developing community best practices to begin to address the vital issue of working towards just and equitable access to our shared online heritage. However, before we announce the winner of this category, may I ask Tomas to make a special announcement?
Well, as you all know, being finalist in this award is a significant recognition of the work. So you may applaud all the finalists. But this year, among the student proposals, one finalist presents a work that encompasses theoretical aspects as well as practical working implementation while involving the community. We, the judges, felt that work should be marked with a certificate of distinction. So it's my pleasure to announce that the certificate of distinction for the student section is given to Alex Agbo for the big backup.
I just want to use this time to give a massive thanks to all the teaching staff at UCL who, and the course I was on, a Master's in Archives and Records Management, that provided the space for me to do this work, particularly Hannah Smith, who's in the audience. Massive thank you to her for supporting me on this and enabling me to do coding, so thank you.
And now, to the winner. My colleague Gali Halevi served on the judging panel and reported that the quality of submissions was incredibly high and that the decision was an especially hard one. So I wonder, once again, could we celebrate and applaud all of the nominees in this category for their work?
So without further, it's my pleasure to say the winner is Preservación de Documentos Digitales, el caso de Wikimedia México.
Estoy muy feliz de estar aquí con ustedes. I'm so happy. Thank you for this acknowledgement. Estoy muy contenta y me emociona mucho pensar que una investigación hecha con mucho amor y mucha admiración sea reconocida por la comunidad como algo útil para las personas. It makes me very happy that a research done with all of my love and admiration is recognized by the community as something useful and important for people. Muchas gracias a mi familia, a mis amigos, a mis colegas. Thank you very much to my family, my friends, my colleagues. And saludos para México. Hello, Mexico. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Thank you. Never a quiet moment, is there? That's great. I love it. So we're next up on the agenda tonight. We have the Research Data Alliance sponsored award with the longest title for the most outstanding digital preservation initiative in commerce, industry, and the third sector. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce Hilary Hanaho of the Research Data Alliance to make the presentation along with Mihaela Donisa of the Bank for International Settlements. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, William. It's a great honour for me to represent the Research Data Alliance here and to have sponsored this amazing award. Pardon me, but I need my glasses. And move it on because the others didn't have it. So, This is the award for the most outstanding digital preservation initiative in commerce, industry and the third sector. We called it CHITS at the time. And it encourages and recognises the adoption of digital preservation tools and approaches in an organisation that is not explicitly a memory institution. And there are 3 finalists for this award. The first finalist is A Lovely Day for Digital Preservation, Guinness Archives Adverts Project. And the aim of this project is to digitise, remaster and preserve the Guinness brand's advertising legacy of television adverts on film and make the collection publicly accessible. The collection captures moments in cultural and social history spanning a 40-year period and offers an insight into changing representations of Irishness both at home and overseas. The second finalist, Cloud-Based Holistic Digital Preservation at HSBC. This project, which moved HSBC's digital preservation system to the cloud, enables users to create and access both technical and descriptive metadata within a unified system and has brought about significant efficiencies and sustainability improvements for the business. And the third finalist is NHS, the National Health Service, Research Records Reducing Risk. Barts Health NHS Trust has implemented a specialist digital archive that ensures records from clinical trials are preserved, accessible and usable for their whole retention period, which is mainly 25 years. This service is now being extended to other NHS trusts and is helping to preserve data across healthcare, research and raising awareness of digital preservation in this area. So as you can imagine, we received absolutely amazing applications in this category from organisations whose core business is not digital preservation. The judges had a very difficult task, as we all did in all categories, to choose a winner, as the 3 finalists did a really, truly outstanding work that has already had and will continue to have long-standing impact, not just for their organisations, but far beyond. So many thanks and a huge congratulations to the teams from all 3 finalist organisations. And thank you to all of you for taking the time to apply for this category and to shine a big spotlight on the importance of digital preservation in the industry, third sector and commerce. So please join me in celebrating our 3 finalists. And now I ask Michaela to reveal the truth.
Yes, I won't keep you waiting. The winner, and this is a diction exercise, the Research Data Alliance Award for the most outstanding digital preservation initiative in commerce, industry and third sector goes to NHS Research Records Reducing Risk.
Thank you very much. Again, we didn't think we were going to win, so we haven't really prepared anything. And working for the NHS, you never get any awards. So, yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank the judges for seeing the importance in this work that we're doing. We're really proud to be here. And also to our organisation, Barts Health, for actually giving us the money to be able to do this. It's very rare that public sectors get some money to put into digital preservation, so we're very proud of this work. Also to the research office that we work with to support us to be able to do this. And And yeah, we're really looking forward to working with hopefully other NHS trusts to be able to support them with their research. Sandra is actually the brains behind this. She just doesn't like public speaking. So thank you very much.
Right, we're making good progress. We're on time. This is great. Anyway, we are now moving on to the National Archives UK Award for safeguarding the digital legacy. And so it gives me great pleasure to introduce Sonia Ranade of the National Archives in the UK and Joanna Morphine of the National Archives in Mexico to make the presentation.
Hello, everyone. They offered me a step, but apparently it was really high, so I'm doing without. I'm delighted to be here this evening to present this award with Joanna. This is the National Archives Award for Safeguarding the Digital Legacy, and this celebrates the practical application of preservation tools to protect at-risk digital heritage. As we've heard already this evening, the standard was incredibly high, and there are 4 finalists for this award. The first project is Archivo PT, Catalogue of Tools for Digital Preservation. This is a public infrastructure which supports the preservation of digital objects published online to safeguard this digital legacy for future generations. Project 2 is the DDLD Living Archive. This is the first and only repository preserving and cataloguing the work produced by journalists in Mexico. Over 163 journalists have been killed in Mexico since the year 2000. Through the DDLD Living Archive, over 19,000 published news pieces from 83 journalists killed in Mexico between 2000 and 2023 have been preserved. Project 3 is Digital Pacific, preserving stories, knowledge, and teonga. This is an online portal which provides an easy, single access point to digitized Pacific cultural heritage items held in different museums, galleries, and library collections around the world. The platform connects diverse people with their dispersed treasures and cultural materials in a way that had not previously existed. And last but not least, Project 4, the National Digital Newspaper Library of Mexico. This is a virtual repository of historical periodical publications aimed at promoting and facilitating the preservation and dissemination of the country's digital newspaper heritage. It's the largest virtual repository of images of newspapers and magazines printed in Mexico between 1722 and 2023, with nearly 9 million digital pages. This was a difficult task. These projects are so important. They make an immediate and practical difference. They were thought-provoking, they were emotive, and it was such a privilege to hear about them. They're international projects, and they represent the best of the global digital preservation effort. So before I hand over to Joanna to make the announcement, I'd like to invite you all to congratulate these and all the nominees for their work.
It's an honor to be here and to announce the winner. I feel like in the Oscars. And the winner is Living Archive, DDLD.
I feel a little bad that I did prepare some words just in case. I'll read from them. I am so touched and grateful. I want to first thank the Digital Preservation Coalition for this recognition. This award endorses the importance to preserve the honor and the legacy of killed reporters in Mexico. This award recognizes the importance of the work they did in forming their communities in Mexico and the need to make sure that that work survives them. Not long ago, I sat awake, overcome by anxiety, before the enormous challenge of preserving these works. Moments like this make all those nights worth it. Thank you. There's no one fighting more fiercely for justice in the unsolved cases of murdered journalists in Mexico than their family members. This award goes to them and to the memory of their loved ones. To those colleagues who have contributed to this work, Julio, Julian, Mar, Zaira, thank you. I also want to thank those who have supported this archive since it was only an idea, especially people at the Brown Institute for Media Innovation, Lila Golds and Bill Arp, and the Ford Foundation. Likewise, all the individuals who have championed this work, including Atsimba Olaya and Maili from Cometa, Ines, and Joanna Morfin, whom I serendipitously met at a Creative Commons Summit and has been so generous since. Thank you. Last but not least, I want to thank my family and friends for encouraging my continuous work on this matter, especially my husband, who has mastered the delicate balance between pushing me when I lack courage and holding me when I need support. Thank you.
Okay, so we find ourselves close to the end now, and it's a very great pleasure to introduce the Digital Preservation Coalition Fellowship. And to make that presentation, we're in, by the way, the presence of digital preservation royalty, as Barbara Searman, winner of the award from 2018, I think it was, invite Barbara Searman to make the presentation, along with Nathan Tallman of the AP Trust. Barbara and Nathan.
Yes, it's right. You can't see anything. This award recognizes a sustained and impactful contribution to the digital preservation community, demonstrating leadership and innovation over an extended period, sharing their insights generously and engaging collaboratively for the widest possible benefit. Nominations for the fellowship were invited from the DPC membership, and they were reviewed by the judges. Our fellow this year is a passionate advocate of digital preservation and a huge supporter of DPC. She works often on a volunteer basis to advance local and indigenous knowledge development. She has collaborated with leaders and partners across sectors and around the globe to build dynamic and equitable knowledge ecosystems. She implemented the Global Coalition Knowledge Management Strategy on Youth, Peace and Security with UNDP in New York, and she has developed knowledge management solutions for USAID and World Bank-funded projects in Africa. She also coordinated the first African Knowledge for Development Partnership at the UN in Nairobi, Kenya. Nathan will now announce this year's DPC Fellow.
It is our pleasure to announce the 2024 DPC Fellowship goes to Gladys Kemboy.
But unfortunately, Gladys cannot be in Ghent today. But she has two representatives here in the concert hall. And we like to invite Chris Prom and Sarah Cummings to stage to accept this award. on behalf of Gladys, while play a few words from our fellow in the video. You're already there.
Hi everyone, my name is Gladys Kimboy from Kenya. I am a PhD student at University of Illinois doing PhD in Information Science. I am so excited today to receive the prestigious award from the Digital Preservation Coalition for the DPC Fellowship Award. This means a lot to my KU community, our indigenous knowledge holders, our elders, and also our community champions. The award will help me to continue in supporting and building the capacity of our own indigenous knowledge holders and also the community champions to continue to apply the Digital Preservation Coalition model to capture, document, and also digitize and preserve the KU indigenous knowledge and supporting other indigenous knowledge holders in Africa in digitizing their indigenous knowledge. In addition to that, this award means a lot as we continue to support our own communities in applying the indigenous knowledge in addressing various challenges that we are currently facing, which includes the climate change and also preserving our traditional medicine. In addition, we are very excited to continue to work together with our global partners and to support this initiative and to ensure that the communities are contributing to various sustainable development goals. I want to thank the Digital Preservation Coalition team, especially Sarah. You've been very supportive to our own community members from Africa. Thank you so much for the great support. And also thank you for the Digital Preservation Coalition leadership team. You've been very supportive, giving me the grants opportunities to continue and be inspired to support my local and indigenous knowledge holders. I want to thank the University of Illinois. My gratitude goes to Chris Prom, Karen, and also Travis for the great support. I have won this award because of you. Also, thank you to Chem4Dev, led by our team leader, Sarah Cummings, who is here today to celebrate us. Thank you, Sarah, and all the community members. Thank you, the High Press team, and our gratitude goes to TRICE for all the support this year. And also the International Council Archives for the amazing support, not forgetting last year how you supported me also to attend a conference and contributing the Knowledge Society. In addition, our gratitude goes to our Kipakenge team for the amazing support in supporting various communities and also indigenous knowledge holders in Africa on how we can preserve and digitize our own local and indigenous knowledge in international development. Thank you, Capture Mutwa Forum, Philip Langat, Archives and Indigenous Knowledge Holder. Thank you also the KU Musham and Capture Mutwa for all the support. We are very excited and we look forward to working together. We welcome the opportunity to collaborate, to partner, and to support our communities in contributing to sustainable digital economy. Thank you.
Okay, so the table is now empty, which tells me we've come mostly to the end of tonight's formal proceedings, which has been live streamed. The reception that follows won't be live streamed, so that's good news for us all. I want to end with a few words of thanks. Let me thank the organisers. Let me thank Sarah. I don't know where you are, Sarah, but the others as well in the DPC team who have been supporting and building this wonderful community and put together the awards for us. Let me thank Quincy on behalf of all of the iPres hosts who have hosted us here tonight and have a wonderful conference ahead of us in the next few days. Thank you to Roxana and all of the judges who participated and took such care and diligence and lively debate. If you ever get the call, take it, by the way. Being one of the judges is one of the most fun jobs in digital preservation. I want to thank the sponsors of the awards, the International Council on Archives, the Digital Repository of Ireland, the Dutch Digital Heritage Network, CLOCKS, the National Archives UK, and the Research Data Alliance, who have all generously sponsored the awards, but also contribute to sponsoring the reception, which we'll move to afterwards. Also, our DPC supporters, Archivum, Artifactual, Boxy, Cerebyte, Ex Libris, Evolved Binary, Iron Mountain, Libnova, Max Communications, Preservica, and also Simon Wilson for their great support to the coalition, not just on a night like tonight, but ongoing as we develop a community of practice around digital preservation. I'd like to thank all of the nominees. You've heard about lots of different projects, and I beg you, I implore you, I encourage you to go and read more, find more, learn more about those projects. Let me observe that the work of advocacy doesn't end tonight, it starts tonight, and the consequence is, let's look at that good practice, let's set ourselves that agenda, let's reach for those opportunities which are in front of us, let's raise the roof for all who have contributed and continue to contribute generously and creatively to our work. Let's toot, let's tweet, let's do whatever it is we do on LinkedIn, your social media platform of choice. It might be Grindr, it might be Tinder, I don't care. Reach out in the nice possible, appropriate way and thank them for their efforts. Thank you to the DPC members who have participated and supported the process. Thank you to our audience, you all, for sharing with us in this ceremony and providing such a warmth and encouragement to all involved. That's what the awards are about. We are here for that opportunity to encourage each other. We are here fundamentally, therefore, for each other. I wonder if I could ask briefly all the finalists, all the judges as well, to join us at the front briefly for a photograph. The finalists as well as the winners as well as the judges to come forward. Won't be very long, but it will allow the rest of you to clear out the buffet reception, which you better not. But anyway, to clear out the reception, which I can't see a thing. I think it's through one of these doors. Please make your way out to the foyer where the reception is waiting. Thank you all very much.